sort of reaction to the news yesterday about Robin Smith, the proper England great?
Yeah, very sad day. I didn't know him overly well, but I knew quite a lot of people who did know him very well. Played a lot of cricket with him, and there was the same thing kept on coming up pretty much, which was just he was an absolute belter of a bloke. So it's always a sad time when you hear news like that. It's not nice to hear.
And he was around in Perth, and he's close to the Lions. I think maybe Potts and Bethel were around there, so pretty close to home.
Yeah, I think, and that's sort of, when stuff news like that and gets you, and then it hits you a bit harder. Like even, just last week he was there chatting with the Lions who were out here. He was at the game last week, and sort of talking to people and sharing, going into quite a lot of detail about his life and opening up quite a lot. So it was sort of hits you a bit harder, I think, when you realise that it was only a week ago where he was doing those kind of things.
And on to cricket matters, obviously you named the team yesterday. Will Jack's back, their first test in nearly 3 years. Can you just talk us through the planning there and the idea of adding Will to the team? Yeah,
I think coming here, knowing the first two games, obviously going to be at Perth, and the day-night game here at the Gabba. You try and leave yourself as much time as you can to think about different sort of angles you try and come up with an 11. And we tried to look at how we thought spin was going to be used, and there was a bit of a tactile element to it. And obviously Jaxie's ability with the bat to have that down the order for us is as useful as well. So look, if it ever comes down to picking our best and number one spinner, selection will go either way.
Have you given any thought to who you might be walking out tossing the coin with yet? It's not entirely clear.
I don't know.
Neither do we.
No.
And just finally, could you get us up to speed with Mark Wood? Obviously not able to play this week, but still around the group. Are you expecting him to sort of be able to settle things down and play a role, and he'll be presumably pretty desperate to leave his mark on this series one way or the other?
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think with Woody, obviously a little bit of a setback, but doing everything that he can, and the medical group are doing everything they can to try and get him available to potentially be available selection in the last three. But look, we've got a lot more time to go on this tour, and we'll just see things how play out with that.
Yes, go ahead.
Literally just got notification Australia's going to announce their team at the toss. Do you see those mind games? What do you see? Are you happy to keep the country and yourselves waiting, or?
I see it as they probably don't know what 11 they're going to pick until the toss. We'll just have to wait and see what 11 they go with.
If Cummins is there, however, he's world-class player, not just their leader as well, but they'll get that boost, won't they, to have their captain back?
Yeah, look, Pat's awesome. Has been for a very, very long time. He's done great things. Not only as a player, but he's been great since he's been given the responsibility of being captain for Australia. Whatever 11 they go with, if Pat's there, if Pat's not, we'll still be going in there to try and get the win this week.
There's been some criticism of yourself and some teammates not wearing helmets on e-scooters around Brisbane. Do you acknowledge that was the wrong thing to do?
Next time we're on a scooter, we will wear helmets.
Do you think an apology is owed to Queenslanders?
Next time we're on scooters, we'll wear helmets.
Are you not going to make any further comment about this, other than what you've just said?
No, I'm going to move on. Stefan, thank you.
And then if you were going for your number one spinner, there might have been a different decision. What conversations have you had to have with Shoaib to explain to why you've done the way you have this week?
As Baz does the sort of the telling of good news and bad news, and I'm there for follow-ups, and it's pretty much like that. It was we thought that was the best 11 for the conditions and the circumstances of the game. But he knows that if it comes down to picking our best spinner, he's the man.
There's still a big chance for Will to establish himself in the side.
Yeah, definitely. Since coming into the squad in Pakistan, and obviously starting off very, very well, you know, he's turned himself into a cricketer that I always thought he could be. You know, he's incredibly talented, and I think he's gone from strength to strength from, what was that, 2.5, 3 years ago since Pakistan tour. So look, he's been playing so well in the nets and the time he's been, you know, out here training. So yeah, it's great for us that, you know, we've got someone who's looking in pretty good order coming into a big test match.
The last day on test, Ben, you played in New Zealand. You were able to sort of manufacture the declarations to your advantage to bowl under lights. I mean, clearly things have to play out for you to do that, but you're open to getting quite creative in this game to make the most of the pink ball under lights and things like that.
Yeah, I think there'll be times in the test match where, you know, you'll probably be presented with something like that. Obviously, in that test match in particular, the way that it turned out was we had a couple of guys go and, you know, make some pretty big scores and do it very, very quickly, which allowed us to be able to get that declaration and use the lights to our advantage. It's commonly known that it is pretty difficult. Well, it's a lot more difficult under lights than it isn't. So, yeah, look, it worked brilliantly well for us there. You know, but you know, that's not going to say that's what we're going to go out there and try and do. But I guess if there's an opportunity that presents itself to you in a game where you feel like you can use those lights to your advantage when you've got the opportunity to bowl, I think both teams will be trying to capture that.
Would you consider taking the new ball, Ben, to nibble around a bit? Conditions?
Not with this bowling attack we've got, no. Yeah, pretty confident that Joff and Gus are pretty good new ball bowls.
And there's been a lot of pain this week about the opportunity for this team to make a history for a place that you guys haven't had great success at, but Australia hasn't been particularly strong at recent test matches. What excites you about this opportunity, and do you see a weakness there from the Aussies, even though they are the masters of pink ball? Do you see a weakness of the fact that their last pink ball match here was a loss?
Oh, not really. You don't try and read into too much around what happened in a result in the last time a team played there. But we've got grounds in England where we know that when we turn up there, you sort of have that extra bit of confidence because of not necessarily your record there, but how the crowds are. You know, we've got Edgbaston and Headingley. I feel like Gabba is quite sort of like their Edgbaston or Headingley to Australia. But look, they've got a great record in pink ball Test cricket, and yeah, but we're just excited to get going, and yeah, hopefully we can get the win this week.
Take a couple more.
It would be harder, do you think, for Travis, when he opened the other day? It felt like a bit of a cameo, nothing to lose kind of thing. But now he's, you know, a proper opener, might have it for a long time. I mean, like, would that change his mindset, do you think, instead of just going out and freewheeling?
No, I don't think so. I think you look at how successful Travis has been in his Test career so far. Everyone knows the sort of what Travis is like as a player. He's someone who takes the attack to the opposition. He goes about his business in a way that wasn't too dissimilar to that knock in Perth. Obviously, it was probably Travis Head on steroids last week, to be honest. But no, he's been a great player for a long time for Australia, and the way that he goes about it is his way of, I guess, giving the best account of himself of being successful out there for his team.
One to our left at the back here, yeah. Go ahead.
Now, obviously not resolving, but to take that same sort of proactive approach with that, doing our review, doing anything, this stigma, or even it's doing all your own set.
Yeah, I think mindset is, everything when it comes to sport in general. It's when you get put in all types of different situations. This one thing is, as long as your mind is very clear about what you're going to go out there and try and do, that's the most important thing. And yeah, look, I've got complete trust in the players that we select to go out there with that mentality of being the person who's going to influence the game the right way for us. And sometimes that doesn't always work out that way. But look, I said, you've heard it from a couple of us. We addressed last week. We assessed certain moments in that game, and we've definitely taken some lessons from last week. So yeah, it's a chance for us this week to do what we want to do, which is to come here and win the Ashes.
And last one up to our right here. Yep, go ahead.
Hi Ben. Like in Perth, you had a collapse in second innings, which didn't give your bowlers enough time to rest. Have there been talks about with Mark Wood down already, like to rotate the bowlers in the manner or any strategies, to give them more time to rest and then come back, boom into the innings? Like, have there been any talks about that?
Not particularly. I think I do both. I bat and I bowl, and you could always do with more time off your feet than heading back out there. But when things like that transpire, you don't moan, you don't complain. That's part of the job as being fit. And if you have bowled and then you end up having to be back out there sooner than what you thought, put your boots back on, get back out there, and try and win a game for your country, which is what we tried to do last week. Although it happened quite quickly. But yeah, we're all fit, and yeah, if we're tired, no one really cares if you're tired. So yeah, you just got to put your boots back out there and crack on with the job at task.
And the follow-up, how does that do a morale thing for the team that coming into the sun again, because Brisbane is hotter than in terms of condition, and with the pink ball already being there, how much pressure would you come with if you were put into that situation again, defending, let's say, a big program with only 4 fast bowlers there?
Yeah, I mean, you get put in pressure situations all the time when you walk out there and in the heat of the battle. But it's same sort of when you're tired. If you feel like you're under pressure or if you feel tired, it's actually, if you could look at it, it's actually sort of privileged to feel those feelings when we're out there playing for England. And so just that's the way that I look at it. Been lucky enough to be able to do something that I've loved and wish that I could have done when I was a kid. So if I'm out there and I'm in a pressure situation or I feel tired, it's I'm just privileged to be able to be in those situations because it's something that I love doing.
Okay, we're done. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks very much.